I fell for a married woman. And she fell for me too. I, 26M, never thought I'd be that guy, the one who falls for someone still technically married. But here I am. And before anyone jumps to conclusions, let me explain how it happened, because it wasn't some shady affair or stolen moments behind closed doors. We met at a mutual friend's small dinner gathering. One of those low-key adult get-togethers with wine, candles, and way too many stories about jobs and breakups. She, 28F, walked in late, confident but quiet, wearing this kind of tired sadness on her face like a badge. But the moment we locked eyes, there was this awareness. Like we both saw something in each other that no one else in that room could. We ended up sitting next to each other. Conversation was easy, too easy. She was smart, sarcastic, and surprisingly open. When the topic of relationships came up, she didn't flinch. She told me plainly, "I've moved out. It's over. I'm just waiting for the paperwork now." I asked, "How long were you married?" 5 years, she said, with a bitter little smile. Longer than it should have been. Over the next couple of weeks, we kept bumping into each other at events, then we started texting, then calling. And eventually, it just happened. We didn't even label it at first. We were spending hours on the phone. Meeting for coffee that turned into dinner that turned into staying over. Everything about her felt real, her emotions, her stories, her pain. She didn't hide the fact that she was still dealing with the messiness of her past, but she also didn't pretend to be unsure about how she felt about me. We connected deeply, not just emotionally, but physically too. It was magnetic, but also weirdly safe. Like we were two people finding warmth after leaving cold rooms. Of course, I wasn't blind to the reality. This was someone who had just come out of a marriage. Not a 6-month fling, a 5-year marriage. One day, as we lay in bed, I told her, "I'm really starting to fall for you. I just want to be sure you're not falling out of something and mistaking it for falling into me." She looked at me for a long moment, then said, "That's fair. I'm falling into you, but I won't lie, I'm still unraveling what I've come out of." Then she added, "This might get messy. If it does, I won't blame you for walking away." I didn't walk away. Maybe I should have. But something in me told me this wasn't some rebound or placeholder thing. It felt different. It felt like I was actually seeing her and she was seeing me. Not just as an escape, but as someone she chose. At least, that's what I hoped. The first few weeks were great, almost too great. We were constantly in each other's space, texting during the day, crashing on each other's couches at night. I felt like we were building something, even if the ground beneath us was still a little shaky. But then came the moment I wasn't prepared for. We were sitting on her balcony, sharing a late dinner she cooked. It was quiet, intimate. She leaned back in her chair, sipping wine, and out of nowhere she said, "I still love him. In a way." I blinked. "You what?" She looked at me, not guilty, just honest. "I don't want him back. That's not what this is. I'm not confused about that. But I was married to him for 5 years. It wasn't all bad. And I don't know. There's still a part of me that feels something." I didn't know what to say. I just nodded, trying to keep my face neutral. But inside, I was spiraling. She must have seen the flicker of discomfort because she quickly added, "It's more guilt than love, I think. He's not handling it well. He texts me almost every day. Sometimes calls. Begs. Cries. Says he'll change." I asked her if she wanted to go back. She didn't even hesitate. "No. I can't go back to someone who only started trying when I walked away." And yet, the fact that she still felt something sat like a stone in my chest. I wanted to be the bigger person. I told myself, of course she's going to feel conflicted, you don't just turn off 5 years like a light switch. But still, I couldn't help but ask myself the one question I had been avoiding since day one. Am I just the rebound? She assured me I wasn't. That what we had was different. That she wouldn't have let me in if she wasn't serious. And I believed her. Mostly. But the doubt had already crept in. Quiet, sneaky. It followed me like a shadow. When her ex reached out again, this time asking to meet, she told me about it. Said she was just going to give him closure, make it clear once and for all. I appreciated the honesty. I really did. But part of me wondered. Why does he need closure? And why does she care enough to give it? I didn't say that out loud. Instead, I kissed her goodnight and told her to do what she felt was right. Inside, I was already bracing for the next storm. She told me over the phone. Her voice was quiet, softer than usual. Hey. I need to tell you something. Please just let me finish before you say anything. My stomach dropped. She had met with her husband earlier that day. The closure conversation. The one she promised would be quick, clear, and final. Only it wasn't. We talked, she said. He cried. Told me he's still in love with me. That he's willing to go to therapy, quit drinking, change everything. I told him it was too late. That I'm with someone now. That I love you. She paused. But then. He kissed me. I didn't say anything. My chest tightened. My throat felt dry. I let it happen, she added. I didn't kiss him back. I didn't push him away either. It was just a moment. And I hated it the second it ended. I think I went silent for a solid 30 seconds. Not angry, just blank. Like my brain short-circuited. She kept talking. I know how this sounds. And if I were you, I'd want to run. But I'm telling you because I want this to work. I didn't hide it. I'm not proud of it. It just happened. And it won't happen again. I wanted to scream, or hang up, or disappear for a few days and come back when I had the right words. But all I could do was whisper. I need to think. That night, I barely slept. My mind went in circles: betrayal, disappointment, confusion. But above all, what haunted me most was her honesty. She could have easily kept it from me. I never would have known. And yet, she told me the truth, even though it risked pushing me away. The next day, we met in person. She looked like she hadn't slept either. No makeup, hair a mess, eyes red. She didn't try to sugarcoat it. Didn't beg. Just said, I messed up. But I'm not confused about what I want. I want you. And if you can find it in your heart to stay, I'll spend every day proving I deserve it. I sat there staring at her for what felt like forever. Everything in me wanted to protect myself, to walk away and spare my pride. But then I remembered what she said to me early on. This might get messy. I had signed up for messy. So I stayed. I told her, one more time, and I'm gone. But if you mean what you said, I'm here. She reached out, took my hand, and nodded. I mean it. And I wanted to believe her. God, I really did. I stayed. Maybe I shouldn't have, maybe I should have chosen self-respect over potential, but I stayed because I believed in her. In us. At least, I thought I did. But lately, I've been asking myself a question I can't seem to shake. Am I just her escape? Don't get me wrong, she's kind. Thoughtful. She still reaches for my hand in crowded rooms, still texts me good night, even when she's too drained to talk. But the light in her eyes flickers more often now. Like she's here. And not. I see the weight she carries. 5 years of marriage doesn't just vanish because she moved out and filed some paperwork. Her past still sits between us at the dinner table, follows us into bed, lingers in the silence. One night, we were watching a movie and she suddenly broke down, not because of the film, but because a side character reminded her of him. She cried in my arms for 20 minutes straight. Afterward, she said, I'm so sorry. You didn't sign up for this. But didn't I? I told her it was okay. That healing isn't linear. That I'm here. But deep down, it's getting harder. Harder to feel like I'm not just the emotional sponge she leans on when the weight of her past crushes her. Some days, she's affectionate, sweet, hopeful. Other days, she's cold, distant, eyes lost in places I can't follow. I've tried talking to her about it. She always listens. Says she wants to be better. That I'm not second place. But actions don't always match words. I catch myself overanalyzing everything. Is she texting me less because she's busy or because she's thinking about him again? Did she flinch because I touched a nerve or because I reminded her of something painful? It's exhausting. I haven't said this to her, but lately, I've been wondering if she really wants me or just the idea of me. The freedom I represent. The fresh start. The warm body to keep the cold memories away. Because right now, I don't feel like a partner. I feel like a life raft. And life rafts aren't meant to be kept. They're just meant to keep you afloat. Until you reach the shore. I didn't come to this decision in a single moment. It was a slow build, like watching the tide pull back inch by inch until I realized I was standing alone in the sand. I still love her. That hasn't changed. But what has changed is what I'm willing to sacrifice for that love. Lately, I've been waking up with a pit in my stomach, not because of anything she did, but because of everything I've felt but haven't said. I've been walking on eggshells, waiting for her to be okay, putting my own emotional needs on hold because I thought that's what support looked like. But support without boundaries isn't love. It's self-abandonment. I've tried to be patient. I've tried to understand. And I'm proud of myself for that. But the truth is, I can't heal her. I can't compete with a ghost, and I can't build something lasting on a foundation of emotional confusion. She's still finding herself, still unpacking 5 years of love, regret, trauma, guilt. She needs space to truly process all of that without the pressure of being okay for me. And I need space to remember who I am without constantly wondering if I'm enough. So I told her calmly, lovingly. Take the time you need. Fully. If we're meant to find each other again down the road, we will. And if not, I'll still be okay. She didn't cry. She didn't beg. She just nodded, and whispered, "Thank you for everything. I hope I'm strong enough to come back." Maybe she will. Maybe she won't. But for the first time in a long time, I feel light. Not because I stopped caring, but because I stopped clinging. Sometimes love doesn't mean holding on. Sometimes, real love is the quiet bravery of letting go, not out of bitterness, but out of respect for both of your healing journeys. So here I am. Choosing peace over uncertainty. Hope without expectation. Love. Without losing myself. If she comes back, good. If she doesn't, also good.